Okay. So once again, thank you for talking with us today.
Yep.
So I have a site which is Sports, Life, Love, and Style, and I connect all the three. So I feel like you can touch on all, being that you've been married for so many years, you're an athlete, and style. So we'll start with sports. Being an athlete, what are some of the attributes that make a great athlete that can translate into any field, whether it be as a lawyer or as a doctor? What are some of the attributes you learned as an athlete?
That's a great question. I think there's so many values and principles you can take from sports and team sports and apply them anywhere. In sports, you learn how to work with others. You are constantly dealing with success and defeat and failure. And how do you manage that? How do you respond from failure? How do you respond from success? That's life. I think collective responsibility, working with a group and being responsible for the outcome, discipline, all those values that it takes to play at a high level, I think also are what it takes to be successful in any path that you choose to go. And so, I've been fortunate that I've had a wonderful experience as a player, but also learned a lot of life lessons that I'm from basketball that I'm applying now in my second, third, fourth career.
Right. So as it pertains to love, how are you able to sustain your marriage and be an athlete? Traveling all the time and basketball probably being your first love, to now have somebody else, something to come in that you love probably just as much, even more. How were you able to juggle that? How are you still able to juggle that with this career?
Yeah, no, it's about prioritizing what's important. At a point in time, basketball was my first love, and now my wife and children are that. But also, basketball requires travel and being away, and so my wife also, she has a career. She's a singer, and she can be busy. So we make it work. I don't know if we have the magic formula or we communicate, we prioritize, and then when we're together, and we have our kids are the most important thing. So we're very much engaged and very much involved. Your children and being a parent, it's the most difficult, challenging job that you have, but it's also the most rewarding and fulfilling. And so we only have them for a certain amount of time. We have each other for the rest of our lives. So, we just have to make it work, and I don't, we'll be married 17 years in July, and which is a long time, but it's been great. And I can't imagine going through this journey without my wife and my kids.
Right, definitely. So let's get into style. So you had your Fila.
Nah, you're too young to know about Fila.
Look, I know about Fila. So they re-released the sneaker August of last year, and there was a lot of hype about it because this was the 96-97 season, which was you were an all-star starter and on first team. So what does it mean to have that legacy, first off, having your sneaker and people coveting the sneaker because it's like the Grant Hill?
It makes you feel old,
Okay.
like you're some throwback, No, it's great. I've been fortunate to do some amazing things during my career, and commercials, my own shoe, just a number of things that I dreamed of as a kid, and I got a chance to live it. And the great thing now is I'm just old enough, 20 years removed, and some of those things now, the retro. Now they're back in, and my kids can kind of see it and get an experience and get a big kick out of, their dad, who they feel is not cool and not stylish whatsoever, at one moment in time before them.
Right.
I guess I kind of was.
Right.
Yeah.
So being on the show NBA Inside Stuff, and you guys having a young audience.
Right.
What do you think about style? Do you try to? You are the NBA players nowadays, Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook of the world, very fashionable. Are you into that type of fashion? Are you going to dibble and dabble a little bit?
I mean, there's different generations. And back when I was in the baggy, oversized suits or oversized sweats and jeans were kind of big, but the style has evolved and it's definitely more tapered, it's cleaner. I think this generation, I don't want to be the old guy in the club, so I try to dress appropriately, but I also get a chance to express myself through fashion on that show in different ways. I can go with jeans and Jordans, with the hoodie, which I did last week, and a black leather jacket.
Okay.
And then I can put on a blazer and jeans, or I've even worn, a suit with an open collar. And so just mix it up, have fun with it. We kind of have fun with that show. My co-host is in her 20s, so she's of a different generation. But we have fun with the show, but I don't try to be too young.
Okay.
Because I don't think that's a good look.
Okay.
You gotta, although I feel like I look young.
You do look young.
Younger than my age. But I try to just, keep it classy.
Right.
But also add a little flavor to it.
So if you can, this is actually, I have to steal this question from Mia because we had this during the discussion. If we could pick one designer to style us for the rest of our lives, who would it be?
One designer, that's tough because fashion to me is so much about, it's about what you're feeling at that moment. It could be what's going on in your life. It could be where you're going, what kind of mood you're in, the weather, what's happened the day before. So it's hard to really pick one fashion designer who kind of embodies all of that, because you take from everybody, you take from people. But I'm older now, I like to look nice, I like to present myself in a professional manner.
Right.
So, I don't know,
there's nobody who you just
maybe
like.
Tom Ford.
Nice.
Somebody like that is just, it's not too much going on.
Okay.
It's just a nice cut, good fabric, and it's classy, and it's timeless. I think we have pieces that no matter what era you're in, what year, what decade, it looks nice, it presents well, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now. But sometimes I'll deviate from Tom Ford.
Okay.
If I had to pick one, I'll say Tom Ford.
Okay. And lastly, so
what about you?
Me? Oh man. Well, I can't afford Tom Ford just yet. So I would say
ideal. It's hypothetical. It's like whatever.
If I could pick one dream one, this was hard for me. Cavalli.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Cavalli. I would say Cavalli. Or Versace, if I could get anything I would,
All right.
So to end it off on sports tip, who is your pick? Do you have a pick for the tournament? Somebody you just had to go gut?
Nah, I don't. I really don't. And the reason for that is there's so much parity, so much balance. The last few years I had picks. This team, that team, whatever.
Right.
This year, I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I could give you a school. I just would be picking. Like I think there's so much balance. The playing field is so leveled and even. It could be one of 20 teams, and so I would say Virginia State. You guys aren't in it.
We won the NCAA tournament
Okay.
just 2 weeks ago.
There you go.
Yeah, so shout out to Virginia State University.
Virginia, so I know.
Okay.
But yeah, I really don't know. I wish I was supposed to know, but I don't.
Okay. And can I get an NBA pick from you for the finals? Are you gonna go Golden State?
Well, since I'm an owner of the Hawks, I'll say Atlanta. But I think the owner hat would say the Hawks, but the commentator in me would say the Golden State Warriors.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get my picture? Wait, can I get my picture really quick?